What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about the race to the bottom. Everyone's seen it in the 3D printing community. It's happening. Is it good for us? It's yes and mostly no. We'll start by saying I like to compare 3D printers and companies to the automobile industry. 3D printing companies have their next like 5-6 models lined up already. They know what they're going to make, and they just release them when they release them on a schedule. Bambu Labs shook it up a little bit. Hold on, let's go back. The race to the bottom, I think, started with the Sonic Pad with Creality. FL Sun was going to put out a speeder pad. Creality was going to put out the Sonic Pad. And neither of them were quite ready to go. They both had issues with them, hardware issues, software issues, but they were trying to beat each other to go out on the market, because whoever puts it out on the market first is going to win. So that was probably the first real start of the race to the bottom, I think, in my opinion. I do want to start by saying I'm not affiliated with any 3D printer company. This is just my opinion. You don't have to agree. It's okay. But this is what I've noticed from my past of 3D printing and watching 3D printing companies. So after the Sonic Pad, Bambu Labs, they shook things up. How I said the 3D printing company had their next models lined up. Well, Bambu Labs came out and they're like, yeah, fuck this. We're going to put out this machine. It prints super fast. It uses all these high-tech components, and we don't care. It came out. It was a really good printer. Over here. I'm printing right now on it. And I've had it for probably 6-7 months. It prints fantastic. I mean, it does a really good job. It has its issues. I had a fan issue. They replaced it real quick. Their customer service has been pretty good for me. I've heard bad things about their customer service. I've heard good things about their customer service. I haven't had an issue. But overall, I think it's a very good printer. And it kickstarted the market for these new printers. The problem is, because they released it, now all the other 3D printing companies are trying to catch up. Now we have the K1 Max. Creality is probably the number one printing company when it comes to printers for sales. Big name. They were probably caught really off guard by this printer. They're like, all right, we have to jump ahead, put one together, and release a printer that competes with the Bambu. I've seen another printer that's on Kickstarter that has the same basic setup as the Bambu and K1. It's not out yet, but should be soon. And I'm sure the other printer companies will start to have them out soon. I'm sure Anycubic will have one out. Maybe Elegoo will have one out pretty soon. But the problem is, it's a race to the bottom now. The way Creality did it with the Sonic Pad, they went the same route with this K. They released it. They're trying to keep up. They want to get ahead of the game. They know they can get more sales because it's Creality and they're a bigger name. But is it good for us? Not when the product isn't ready. K1 has multiple issues. It does print. I'll say that, but it's not intuitive like the Bambu printers are. Right now, I would say if I printed at 50, it would be okay. But the speeds it's boasting, it's not ready for. The resonance calibration they do either isn't working right, they don't have it set up right, or the printer is just can't handle those speeds. I don't think they tested it enough before they put it out to the consumers. I don't like the new method they're doing with putting out a product and letting the consumers be the ones that finds all the problems for them. And then they go back and slowly start to improve it. I think printers should be ready to go when they're released. and that's where the race hurts us. Creality will win in sales right off the bat. I'm sure it might already be pretty close, but eventually they're going to fall flat if they don't have printers that are ready to go. It'll only take a few firmware updates probably. Hopefully they do something with the slicer, because Creality print is just terrible, and the Bambu slicer is so much more intuitive, and there's so many more options you can do with it. K1, you can't calibrate anything on your own. The things you need to with a printer that goes that fast. So my advice is to people buying a 3D printer, don't buy any of the printers right when they release, because they will improve them. It'll take time. They will come out with a new model that's improved based off the old one, which doesn't work as well. And eventually they will come out with a good product. The 3D printer companies are going to have their race. You can let them have it, but just wait. I mean, Bambu was a special case. They came out with their printer. It was actually pretty good when it came out, but they have improved it with firmware updates, slicer updates. And every printing company is going to slowly improve their product after they release. So what I would do if I was getting into 3D printing, I would do my research, look at everything, not buy the first production models at release. I would wait a month or two, maybe 6, see what they do with the printer, see if they fix some of the problems a lot of people are having. Jump on Facebook groups, forums, and see what everyone's saying. And then by the time you're ready to buy a 3D printer, hopefully they have everything in order and you can get a good product. Moving forward, that's going to be the way the 3D printing standards will be for companies, is to release stuff early before they're not ready, which is a shame, because I think companies should spend their time making sure everything's right before they release. But I think that's just going to be how it is from now on. It's a race. Everybody wants to make money. They want to get their stuff out first. That's just how it's going to be. Happy printing. Good luck. Do your research, and see you later.